In this next part of the series, we're going to be taking a look at how we can use ZBrush and build a material type, something like metal. So we're going to take all the different tools and techniques that we learned in the previous sections that we've taken a look at with stone, and we're going to apply that to a new material type, and again, this will be metal. A lot of the things that we've done before are going to be pretty similar, but we're probably going to do a less shallow chipping away of material and things like that, because if you think about it, the stone, it's obviously softer than metal in most cases, and then it's going to be able to be eroded a little bit easier and chipped away, things like that. So metal is going to be preserved for that shape a bit easier. So we'll kind of keep that in mind as we work on our design. Now I'm going to be showing you in the next few videos or so, we'll be taking a look at how we can use the Z Modeler tool to make very simple shapes. We'll take a look at the subtool folders and how we can use the live Boolean system to make our base shape that we're going to use for the rest of the project. You can see this is what I've chosen for my shape. And what I want you all to do with this one, you're free to change whatever the design is for this, but I'm going to have you all make something that has some representation of a shape of, this is my idea of maybe a head. You could say this is the face. You could say this is an eye. It's up to you. This is some kind of cap over the top of this thing. We've got some kind of shapes that represent maybe arms, and then I've got a shape here that represents the body, and then we've got a base. So as long as you have those elements, you've got a base, you've got some kind of mid shape, you've got some extra shapes that go off to the side, you've got a main shape right in here, and this could be your central focus shape that you really want to draw attention to, and then maybe some particular shape that goes over the top of it. As long as you have those elements, you'll be in good position. You'll be able to follow along with this tutorial, and you'll be able to make up your own design and still follow all the same different techniques that we're doing in here. But you can come up with something that you find maybe a little bit more interesting than what I've made for this shape here. I think this is not the most exciting design I've ever made, but I think it could be something that represents maybe something that you might see in a sculpture park or something like that. It's a bit more iconic, and it's way different than the things that I normally do. But again, I want to focus on bigger, bolder shapes. And in this section that we're taking a look at, while we're using the live Boolean system, if we go back to what we did in the stone section and still think about those large, medium, and small details, or primary, secondary, and tertiary forms, this is going to be our primary form section, and that section is pretty darn important. I would say it's more than pretty darn important. It's crucial that we get that part correct, and that we spend the right amount of time at that section, and that we come up with a good solid foundation for the rest of our design, because these shapes that we make right now at this stage will affect every other stage from here on out, and you can never add enough medium level detail and enough fine level detail to save really poor foundational forms. So concentrate on that part, think about what your design is, think about what it is that you want to create, but as you make yours, you should have those similar elements, and then you'll be able to follow along and make your design as we go through this part.